Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd Podcast. Go on, hit the subscribe button. There it is, so you don't miss any of our football content this season. It has been, if I might say, fantastic. So there are certain things that the media does. They don't irritate me, but they're so predictable. One of them is early in the season when there are injuries. People are like, I don't think I've ever seen this many NFL injuries. Yes, you have 12 months earlier.
Yeah.
And in the end, almost without exception, you get to a Super Bowl and each team's missing like one starter and teams are overwhelmingly healthy. Players get healthier. They hit less in practice. They hit less in games. Doctors are better. Fitness is better. They're fine. So here's the other one that just cracks me up. After a great weekend of college football, man, college football is so much better than the NFL.
Oh,
No, they're both great and they're different. The NFL is a higher level of coaching and playing. You get guaranteed like 5 to 7 great games a weekend, even though there's only 32 teams. In college football, you have 130 teams and you may get 4 great games and a great weekend. I mean, like last weekend was great and we all knew it was great. But you'll have weekends going into a college football weekend where like there's like one game between ranked teams. And you can get a nice Kansas State TCU game, but I went out with my wife. I'm not watching it. So here's how I look at the NFL and college. The NFL is a successful brother in the family. He always has a nice car. He's got a nice fund with his broker. A little boring at times and predictable, but you kind of know what you get. College football is the brother in the family that twice a year you have a big party, you invite him over, and he'll take all his clothes off, go naked, jump into a pool, kind of drunk. People laugh, but it's kind of inappropriate. You're not happy with him, but you do wake up the next morning and say, he really gets the most out of life. We have a nicer, our kids go to better schools. We have a nicer life. But, Tim, he really has a good time in life. And that's how I feel college football is. At its best, it's wild. Fans are pouring on the field. The officiating can be abjectly horrid. These are
the
21
kickers are soccer players who may or may not know what they're doing.
Special teams are a S show.
Yeah.
But like Tim, who got naked and jumped into a pool, there is something memorable and ecstatic about it. And I thought Oregon, Ohio State was that. It's like, Jesus. But my point being, if I circle back, is they're both great. They're much more unique. One's corporate, one's on a campus. And I think that's the beauty of them.
Well, it's funny though. I mean, some of your finest work, Colin. What are your finest analogies? We got to work on Tim's name. I feel like Tim's name should be like Madison or like Bucky or Eugene, like a college
Bo.
player. Yeah, exactly. So we got to work on Tim's name, but otherwise 9.8 out of 10 on the Colin analogy scale. And I was just judging myself because I like the NFL so much more than college. And I'm like, am I the boring corporate suburban guy with like the healthy stock portfolio?
You kind of are.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm washed up. Like I got a wife and 2 kids, and I just love like a sushi dinner and a bottle of red and a nice early bedtime. But yeah, it's true. College at its best, it's just you're like, this is crazy. I don't understand what's happening here. This is random. A team that's a 30-point underdog can win a game. Like, like the NFL, it's like, oh, the biggest spread on the board is 6.5. Like, right? Like it's parity by design. There's a salary cap, there's a salary floor. Free agents are just as likely to choose Dallas as they are Buffalo and Green Bay because they just follow the money. Like I think the NFL is the perfect viewing product. I think it's perfect. Every game matters. Every team before the season doesn't think they can win a Super Bowl, but like worst of firsts happen every single year. Rookie quarterback can change a franchise on a dime. Like basically every franchise has some reason to believe at least within 3 years, right? Like Jacksonville 3 years ago absolutely thought that it was on the board that they had a future Hall of Fame quarterback. So I think the NFL is a perfect viewing product. and college is just a little tougher for me to like follow and be fully invested
Right.
in and week out. But college at its best is just awesome. It's because it means like an irrational amount to the people in the building. Not that pro fans don't fight and pro fans aren't passionate. They obviously are, but it's just like the tribalism of like, this is the most important thing in the entire state of Alabama.
Right.
Like, I'm a fifth generation Badger. Like there's just something about like the college football pageantry that I'll never be able to quit. What did you think about what Dan Lanning did? Should that penalty, putting 12 men on the field intentionally at the end of the game, be more than 5 yards? That felt like
Probably.
it feels like a cheat code to me.
Yeah, a little bit, but my accountant's job is to find holes in the tax system, and we're
Yep.
going to find them every year. I make it very clear to my accountant, my entertainment attorney, we do not cheat, but our job is to assist me in paying the least amount of taxes I can in California. That's legal. And I think that's what an accountant's job is, to find holes and
Yeah,
crevices.
no, I'm
And
not mad at Dan Lanning.
no. So yes, I think I look at it like this. There are two rules. There's a certain rule that college has better than pro: pass interference. No penalty should be 64 yards. It's stupid if our feet are tangled. And
Yeah.
I mean, that would literally be like imprisonment for jaywalking. Your
Yep.
feet get tangled, it's a 64-yard penalty. It shouldn't be. So college has that better. Overtime, but conversely, neither side can figure out overtime, and both sports have made multiple changes. My theory has always been the road team gets the ball first because it's harder to play on the road. You get it first. First score wins. Nobody likes that. I wrote about it in my first book. So the way I look at this is it is a smart coach and a smart staff manipulating the rules. It's not up to Oregon to play nice. It's up to the NCAA to get their shit together.
I completely agree with you. I'm not mad at Dan Lanning. Um, but when your accountant finds a loophole that then the government finds, oh my God, we're losing a bunch of money on this because there's a loophole, I expect them to close the loophole.
Yeah.
And so just like it should clearly be a pre-snap penalty. Like they should not let the time run off the clock. Like, hey, there's 12 guys out here, ball is snapped. Like blow the play dead. It's on the defense. So or put the time back on the clock, right? Like so instead of it going from 10 seconds to 5 seconds, it just, hey, we got to put this back. We know what you're doing. We got to put it back to 10 seconds. Like make the rule like less than 3 minutes left in a game or something. If you do 12 men on the field on defense, no time can come off the clock. Like it's a pretty easy fix, or make it a
Right.
20-yard, 15-yard penalty. It's an easy fix, but I was just like, God damn it.
By
Like
the way,
that's smart, but you should be penalized more because we did catch you.